knock him out in the first round. Once he's gonna start to walk forward, I'm gonna start with my combinations and I'm gonna put him to sleep. But at the end of the day, all the respects for Charles. We respect him. We appreciate for everything he has done in the sport. He's an amazing sportsman. That's all, because he knows that I'm dangerous. He knows that I'm gonna put him to sleep. Even Khabib. The only reason they don't want me to fight against him, because they know that I'm gonna beat.
Ilia Topuria has called out Islam Makhachev and his team, including Khabib Nurmagomedov, accusing them of avoiding him out of fear he'd beat Islam. Meanwhile, Makhachev addressed the criticism he often faces. He pointed out that despite defeating Alexander Volkanovski twice, people still dismiss the wins, claiming Volkanovski was a smaller, out-of-division fighter. Makhachev added that even if he beats Ilia Topuria, critics will likely repeat the same narrative, downplaying his accomplishment.
Twice. People still say, you beat small guy, he's not your weight division. If I beat Topuria, it's gonna be same. Everybody gonna talk same. But if I go up, takes a second belt, this is the legacy.
Ilia Topuria admitted he never truly wanted to fight Charles Oliveira, stating his real goal has always been a showdown with Islam Makhachev. However, since Islam is avoiding the fight, Topuria said he's left with no option but to target Charles instead to keep his momentum going.
At some point, I was a little bit sad because I didn't want to fight against him since the beginning. My real goal always was Islam. But since he decided to run away, it has to.
Demetrius Johnson broke down Islam Makhachev's likely strategy, noting that as a southpaw, he'll use body kicks, movement, and feints to manage distance. He also predicted Islam might rely on judo to take it to the ground for a submission.
Well, Islam's a southpaw, so he's gonna probably throw body kicks to keep his arms busy, keep the distance, move, feint, maybe use some judo to take him down and try to get him to the ground and try to submit him. But you know, once again, like I have to see, I have to see what Islam does to JD. The one thing that's the factor is that Ilia is always going to focus on getting to the right spot and fighting his opponents. When he gets there, he's going to unload. If Ilia can't get there, then he's going to figure out another way to get there. So the question is, how does everybody avoid that sweet spot against Ilia? That's the question, because Ilia is going to fight in a 25-minute fight. That's what it comes down to. And then you go from like, hey, how does Islam keep Ilia away from that spot, or does Islam meet him there? Right? There's so much that goes into it, and my brain is all over the place. So for me to give like a clear-cut answer, I just I'm just like, I'm ready
to fight you.
Listen, I think that he took a great decision. If the UFC would offer him to fight against Justin Gaethje or some another contender in the division, I think that he would stay at 155. But with me coming up, he was like, I don't have to take this risk. I'm gonna move up to the 170. I'm gonna try to get another belt, and that's all, because he knows that I'm dangerous. He knows that I'm gonna put him to sleep. Even Khabib. The only
It was meant to be Islam, that was the big talk, but he moved up to welterweight. Do you believe he moved up to welterweight to avoid you, or because he has his own goals?
Because he has his own goals. This is what I think.
Do you still think that's a fight that should happen? You guys are both forging legacies in different weight divisions. Do you think that's a massive fight that should happen?
We'll see how he does in the welterweight division. If he wins the title, I win the title in the lightweight division. Maybe I move up or he comes down to the lightweight division and we have the fight that everyone.
I think it would still go the same. I think Islam has such a big size advantage, and if he distance kicks, takedown, rinse and repeat, if he continues to mix those things up, I think it would be a difficult fight for Ilia. But from what I saw, it wouldn't surprise me if he was able to put Makhachev's lights out.
Lightweight champion, making him a double champ. Now, Ilia Topuria on yesterday was announced as the new #1 pound for pound fighter in the world. Dean Thomas, do you agree with that? Do you think, though, that by Ilia becoming the lightweight champion, he's pound for pound #1?
Absolutely. When you look at his strength of schedule, when you look at the guys that he's beaten, he was already, even without the Charles Oliveira win, he was already in the ranking to being one of the best. I would say top 3, top 5 for sure, maybe top 3. But the win over Charles Oliveira, first round knockout, solidifies Ilia Topuria as the #1 pound for pound fighter in the world, no doubt about it.
So Dino, I was talking to Arman Sarukian yesterday, and he said to me, it was expected that Ilia would beat Charles Oliveira. So that has no bearing on the entire thing. The fact that he won a fight that many say he was supposed to, I get it. But I must say this, I agree. I think pound for pound does your fighting style translate weight classes? We saw by knocking out Volkanovski, by knocking out Holloway, his fighting style is effective at 145. Before he started as a bantamweight, it was effective there because he's undefeated. Now he's the lightweight champion. I agree. I think that at this point, he is #1 pound for pound because he has shown that his fighting style, regardless of the weight class, is effective. But not only effective, Dino, he is knocking dudes out. So the power has followed him up to lightweight as it was at 145.
He's so clean. It's his technique, and it's not necessarily just his power, like he's like bench pressing all this weight. His technique is so clean that when he's hitting guys and he's hitting them right on the spot, they can't hold up. I believe that he'll knock out anybody from anywhere up until 170. Really? I do believe his power will translate into 170. I swear, I really believe.
So you're telling me right now you think he beats Islam?
I think he beats Islam.
Oh my God.
I always thought he would beat Islam. Here's why. Because Islam, I think Islam had struggled with in the Volkanovski fight, the very first Volkanovski fight, he struggled with getting underneath Alexander Volkanovski. Islam struggled to get underneath him to be able to take him down. He's going to have a hard time getting underneath Topuria. He's going to have a hard time getting underneath Topuria to take him down. If you don't take him down, he's getting knocked out.
So I would imagine that you don't agree with my next point then, because I was going to say he is the #1 pound for pound fighter today. But if Islam is able to beat Jack Della Maddalena, it flips again. And then Islam goes back to #1 pound for pound. Only because it is, Dean. Dean, listen. Only because it is. Fighting style will then be proven to go up to the next weight class.
What do you think would have happened if Ilia fought Islam this weekend?
Islam Makhachev.
He would have beaten him?
By TKO.
Oh, wow. Really?
No, I mean, that's a different level of fighters.
You think so? Wow.
You can't compare Ilia versus Islam.
Really? I have Ilia #1 pound for pound now.
Yes, because Islam not champion anymore right now.
Right.
But when he gets the second title, he's gonna be pound for pound #1.
So you think he beats Jack?
He beats Jack.
Yeah.
Became a pound for pound #1. I'll be pound for pound #2 champion lightweight division, and then beat Islam and became a pound for pound #1.
Wow, I love it. You have it all mapped out.
No one gives a about him. That's Islam. No one gives a even in Dagestan when he's fighting, the people goes to sleep and they watch his fight in the morning. Even at home, who gives a about Islam? Islam. He doesn't even know how to pronounce 2 words.
If Islam becomes the welterweight world champion, for sure I'm gonna push for that shot also.
Скоро будет большие новости.
That it's gonna be even bigger, me against Paddy than me against Islam, because the one who that no one gives a about him, that's Islam. No one gives a even in Dagestan when he's fighting, the people goes to sleep and they watch his fight in the morning. Even at home, who gives a about Islam? Islam. He doesn't even know how to pronounce 2 words.
Bueno, está Paddy, por ejemplo.
Él es otro hipócrita, yo te lo digo. Yo recuerdo una vez compartimos una rueda de prensa y él me dijo una cosa que era: mira, yo estoy peleando en el main card, tú estás peleando en los preliminares, tipo una bobada así. Y yo ahora me pregunto, yo tengo 2 cinturones, ¿tú dónde estás? ¿Sabes? ¿Quién es Paddy Pimblett ahora mismo? ¿Y por qué se tendría que merecer ahora mismo pelear conmigo? La verdad que si pudiera yo elegir una pelea, pelearía con él porque cae fatal, la verdad. cae como el culo. Y a mí me encantaría regalarle ese combate a todos los fanáticos porque desde hace mucho tiempo yo creo que dentro de la UFC no se ve una pelea de verdad. Dos personas que de verdad se quieren pegar. Y qué mejor que pegarse delante de todo el mundo y regalarles un espectáculo. Yo sé lo que va a pasar y no va a ser ningún bien para él.
¿Qué va a pasar?
Lo que ha pasado con todos.
That could be done like early next year. Paddy winning the title, easy. Well, maybe even this year.
If Ilia wins and says he wants to fight me, the UFC will make that fight.
I think so.
Because they know it's a money fight. As Ben was saying, that's like one of them fights where they were world press tour lads like McGregor Aldo. I know I'd beat him. It's funny because I got laughed at for it, but I know I'd beat him.
Yeah, but that's what separates you from the other guys, from the other guys, isn't it?
We've already talked about a game plan to beat him, lad. I know how to beat him. No one goes for his weaknesses when he fights out. Everyone just tries to have a boxing match with him. I'm not going to come out and have a boxing match with him. I'm going to beat him with my all-round MMA game. And as I said, no, I'd beat him, lad. And I reckon I'd proper hate him and just shut everyone up even more like I love to do.
Приветствую, салам алейкум. Мы в Баку, UFC первый раз в Баку, и я первый раз в Баку. Приехали поддержать Тагира и всех наших ребят. Всем желаю удачи. Увидимся скоро будет большие новости.
Islam becomes the welterweight world champion, for sure I'm gonna push for that shot also, and I will move to the welterweight division.
¿Tienes pensado subir a peso welter a perseguir a Islam para que deje de huir, como comentabas?
Pero ¿para qué perseguirlo? Pues si alguien huye, tampoco hay que hacerle bullying. Si huye, hay que dejarlo escapar. Yo tampoco quiero pelear con gente que no quiere pelear.
Tema de Ali, declaraciones suyas. No sé qué reacción tuviste cuando leíste que todo estaba firmado en realidad y solo hacía falta que Belal ganara para que vuestra pelea se produciera.
Mienten. Son mentirosas. Eso es una pura mentira. Eso no es la realidad. Pero al mismo tiempo le entiendo porque es su trabajo. Su trabajo es limpiar las mierdas que sus clientes dejan.
Been talking calling him hand sanitizer boy.
Hand sanitizer boy!
Throwing water bottles at him. Saying anything he can, talking shit, okay? And he is getting under the skin of Ilia Topuria. So much so that he wants to shut him up.
I get the title and you put me against Paddy.
First off, that's the great thing about this sport. If people talk shit, we literally have a forum. You are literally paid life-changing money to go out there and beat the shit out of the guy that is talking crap about you. Topuria says that he's a prick and that he's and he's arrogant and all this type of stuff.
La verdad que si pudiera yo elegir una pelea, pelearía con él porque...
Now, just playing devil's avocado for a minute, okay? Ilia Topuria is also rather confident. He goes out there, he changes his bio, he says it's a formality, he's calling out Islam. He said he was going to knock out Max Holloway, he said he was going to knock out Volkanovski, and he did do all of those things. But if by one person's standard, that makes you cocky, arrogant, a pain in the ass. When you're doing the same thing, sure, granted, he's backed it up every single time, Ilia Topuria. But to be fair, so has Paddy Pimblett.
Knocked those guys out in featherweight before, and he did it. And he did it, and he made it look easy. And with Ilia, it's everything. It's his submissions, his kicks, his punches, everything. He can do anything. I mean, he does everything perfect. All his technique is perfect.